and this is Check It at the Round Table, where we discuss movies, books, music, and stuff. Today, we are discussing pivoting. As you can tell, my hair is rather harried, but the last 2 days have been interesting, peeps, because I was actually getting ready to travel on a very big trip across to a different country. And I had everything booked. I had it booked for 3 months, actually, because I wanted to make sure everything was in order for my trip. So I was like, I gave notice on my apartment. I had everything boxed up in storage. I had my suitcases packed. Not everything's boxed up in storage. As you can see, part of my house is still needing a little work to be boxed up. But anyway, the point is like over 50% is boxed up. So I'm going, hey. But I was talking to one of my friends in the country I'm going to, and they went, Anna, I know everything's in order. I know you've been given the go-ahead. I know your passport's up to date. I know all that. But you need to double-check this one little COVID restriction. I was like, okay. So I did. And I found out the country is not letting people in right now, except for work or for school. And I was like, darn. So I checked with my airline, who had told me before it was perfectly okay, and they're like, oh, if we go to this screen, it says you're not okay. And I'm like, well, why couldn't we have gone to that screen in like June, before I booked my apartment, before I booked my flight, before I, got my suitcases and everything rigmarole? And so he said, you know what, it's okay. I'll just go to another country that's nearby that I can get my flight transferred to, but my flight was going to be like $200 more, and I'd have to book another apartment for a month, and I would have to book a new visa, and I'm going, it's too much to do in 10 days. I mean, some people can definitely do that within 10 days, but I'm like, this is not going to happen within 10 days with me having to move out of the apartment that I'm currently in and having to do this. And I just started school the same day for my college degree. So I'm like, my college classes have started back up. There is just too much going on. And I'm one of those people that is like, I'm good at handling 1 or 2 things, but try to add 3 and it's like, no go. So the first part of the day was a bit stressful. I ate too much sugar, which I hardly ever do, but it's like, I felt like Brainy in Supergirl when he is stress eating. I'm going, I don't hardly ever stress eat, but I was really hungry, and there were only choco pies on my counter. I'm like, you know what, when you move, you should have healthy food on your counter, but that day I didn't, so I had a choco pie or 2. But anyway, what I decided to do was I was like, okay, Anna, step outside yourself and give yourself the pep talk that you would want someone else to give you if they were here. And I was like, I do this sometimes. I feel like Lee Jun-suk in Romance is a Bonus Book when he is stepping outside of himself and telling himself to not worry about Danny on her date. But anyway, with the glasses on the nose down here. But the point is I sat there and went, you don't have time. And even if you did have time, this is going to stress you out to the point that you will not enjoy your trip overseas to your new place because you're so stressed out getting there. And plus, I always have an emergency fund, but I would prefer to have this huge change, which is going to cost about $1,000 or more, done when I had more in my emergency fund, because that would make more sense. So I was going, I'm not doing it. So I contacted a friend whose current roommate had left and they were without a roommate. I said, would you consider having me be your roommate for, just 2.5 months while I get this sorted? Because I calculated, I'm going, I need a visa to the other place that I was going to go in December, which I'm still going to go to November, December. But then I need a visa for the onward trip and a plane ticket. So I'm going, that all takes time to process, that all takes money to process, and I'm going to wait. So I have reconfigured everything. I'm moving into my friend's apartment here because I've already given notice on this one, and even if I hadn't, they were going to raise the rent like 20%. I'm going, no, you're not for me. So anyway, it's like, that is what I did. Now, was it a seamless endeavor? Was it perfectly calm? Did I stay, my perfectly calm self? No.